We cannot ask Senegal to say tomorrow we legalize homosexuality and tomorrow is gay parades. That's not possible either, because our society doesn't accept it. Society will evolve. It will take as long as it takes. I believe that even in northern countries, this debate isn't totally exhausted.
One of the major issues, and it's a holdover from sort of colonial Victorian, is the issue of sexual preference in many African countries. In Kenya, to be gay, the LGBT community is illegal. They just want to have equal rights, the same privacy and equality as all other Kenyans do. Is that something that you aspire to for your country?
I want to be very clear. I will not engage in a subject that is of no, it is not of any major importance to the people and the Republic of Kenya. This is not an issue, as you would want to put it, of human rights. This is an issue of society, of our own base as a culture, as a people, regardless of which community you come from. This is not acceptable. This is not agreeable. This is not about Uhuru Kenyatta saying yes or no. This is an issue that the people of Kenya themselves, who have bestowed upon themselves a constitution, right, after several years, have clearly stated that this is not a subject that they are willing to engage in, yeah, at this time and moment. In years to come, possibly long after I'm president, who knows? Maybe our society will have reached a stage where those are issues that people are willing, freely and open to discuss. I have to be honest with you. And that is the position that we have always maintained. Those are the laws that we have, and those are laws that are 100% supported by 99% of the Kenyan people, irregardless of where they come from. The fact of the matter is that Kenya and the United States, we share so many values, but there are some things that we must admit we don't share. Our culture, our societies don't accept. It's very difficult for us to be able to impose on people that which they themselves do not accept. This is why I repeatedly say that for Kenyans today, the issue of gay rights is really a non-issue. We want to focus on other areas that are day-to-day living for our people. But as of now, the fact remains that this issue is not really an issue that is on the foremost mind of Kenyans, and that is the fact.
Homosexuality has not been our problem, and we do not intend to make it our problem.
Mr. President, you were speaking about a modern Africa, and I'm here with the Bay Area Reporter, which is the LGBT newspaper. And for people who don't know what LGBT is, that's the gay and lesbian community. So I'm wondering, you've done so much for women in Rwanda, and they have so much power. I'm wondering, is the LGBT community a part of the future of Rwanda?
Well, I don't know if I understood what you just asked, but I guess I understand. I have understood. But LGBT,
homosexuality.
Yes, it hasn't been our problem. And we don't intend to make it a problem.
Why should we be forced to do it, to be seen as smart and civilized? Even animals don't do it.
We are saying no to homosexuality. Why should you say we're going to be civilized if we only allow it? Are you saying we are very primitive now because we are frowning upon homosexuality? Even animals don't do it. Why should we be forced to do it because we want to be seen to be smart, to be seen to be civilized and advanced and so on? a retraction or apology would do. But I don't know, to be honest with you, how far this matter will go. Because already you're tying it to aid. If that is how you're going to bring your aid, then I'm afraid the Western can leave us alone in our poverty, and we will continue scrounging and struggling and see how we can get going. For me, I think they're sick. That's how I see it. But they need help. The fact that they're going to jail probably is one thing, but help should be rendered to them. A pardon could be considered, but not in the manner that the ambassador is coming out, like insulting the collective wisdom of the Zambian people and the sovereignty of this state. You don't do.
People, even if they may not be the majority, regard it as their right to have free choice in choosing who they love, who they want to have sex with, and don't believe that the state should get involved.
It's not the state, it is the society.
But you signed it into law.
Yes, but I'm acting on behalf of the society. I'm not, it's not just the state, it is the society. And that's why I would like to advise the Europeans and the Western groups that this is one area which should be a no-go area, because if they want real confrontation with us, this is one area they are not going to make our people budge. Okay, they have told us, and we have told them, and they are the ones who provoked it in the first place.
But what about the equality of an individual, as the Western countries would argue, to have the right to choose what they want for themselves? That just by virtue of being a human being, they have certain human rights, and one of which is to express themselves freely in the way that they choose.
We cannot accept that behaving unnaturally is a human right.
Why not?
I was regarding it as an inborn problem.
A genetic link to homosexuality.
Genetic distortion. That was my argument. But now our scientists have knocked this one out. And once you argue that it is a question of choice, then really you have lost the argument as far as these Ugandans are concerned.
Do you think that by signing the bill, you're taking Uganda backwards?
Not at all, not at all. Uganda is where it has always been. The Uganda have never supported our society since time immemorial, have never supported homosexuals.
What is your message to Western human rights groups, to President Obama,
respect,
to lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people?
Respect African societies and their values. If you don't agree, you just keep quiet. Let's manage our society the way we see. If we are wrong, we shall find out by ourselves. Just the way we don't interfere with yours.
Do you personally dislike homosexuals?
Of course, they are disgusting. What sort of people are they? How can you go? I never knew what they were doing. That's how I've been told recently that what they do is terrible, disgusting. But I was ready to ignore that if there was proof that that's how he's born, abnormal. But now the proof is not there.
Ghana President.
You said a little earlier on about freedom of expression. So I want to ask you about what is happening in your country and homosexuality, for example, which I believe is illegal and it's punishable. I mean, why is homosexuality still illegal in your country?
These the social, cultural issues, if you like. I don't believe that in Ghana so far a sufficiently strong coalition has emerged, which is having that impact on public opinion that will say, change it. Let's then have a new paradigm in Ghana.
Is that something you would get behind?
I think that it is something that is bound to happen. And when that happens...
What's going to provoke it? What's going to make it happen?
Oh, it's the activity, like elsewhere in the world. Like elsewhere in the world, the activities of individuals, of groups. I grew up in England. I went to school as a young boy in England, and I grew up at the time in England when homosexuality was banned there. It was illegal. And I lived the period when British politicians thought it was It was anathema even to think about changing the law, and then suddenly the activities of individuals or groups, a certain awareness, a certain development, grew and grew and grew stronger, and it forced a change in law. I believe that those are the same processes that will bring about changes in our situation. At the moment, I don't see that in Ghana there is that strong current of opinion that is saying this is something that we need to even deal with. It's not so far a matter which is on the agenda.
And let me in conclusion stress again that it will not be under the presidency of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo that same-sex marriage will be legal. That same-sex marriage will be legalized in Ghana. It will never happen in my time as president.
Nowhere does the Charter arrogate the right to some to sit in judgment over others in carrying out this universal obligation. In that regard, we reject the politicization of this important issue and the application of double standards to victimize those who dare think and act independently of the self-anointed prefects of our time. We equally reject attempts to prescribe new rights that are contrary to our values, norms, traditions, and beliefs. We are not gays.
Yaya Jammeh of Gambia had this to say.
Africans have never been homosexual. We have never seen homosexual frogs. I have cattle, I've never seen homosexual gay cattle. And homosexuality is detrimental to human existence. It's un-African, it's unethical, it's ungodly. Go to the Bible and the Quran. We are Muslims, and we believe in the Almighty Allah and what He says. Whatever Allah says is haram, we will make sure it's haram to the letter. I don't care what they feel about me. I didn't introduce the death penalty here. I found it here. And the British brought the death penalty to the Gambia. Before colonialism, there was no death penalty in Africa. Don't you know that? Go to history. But homosexuality is un-African. And let me also make it very clear. Even if the whole world accepts it, Yaya Jammeh will not accept it in the Gambia. Let them go and tell me whatever they want to tell. Do I care? I don't. What I care about is how Almighty Allah sees me. I'm a Muslim. In fact, none of them can take me to hell or heaven. But it's the Almighty Allah who will take me to wherever He decides. And homosexuality would never be accepted in this country. They can call me any name. Do I care? I don't.
Other notable mentions: former President of Tanzania, John Pombe Magufuli.